Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report, where market researchers come for news, insights, and commentary about their research field. And we provide them with news and other valuable insights and information that impacts them both inside and outside their present place of work. On RBDR today, a marketing consultant's intensive look into how research fits into a proper examination and analysis of a company's problems and getting them to buy in solutions. RBDR sponsored today and this week by Symmetric Sampling, a division of decision analysts providing sampling services to companies that place a very high value on representative samples, scientific sampling methods, and advanced fraud detection systems. You can learn just about everything you want and need to know, both general and specific, about a typical company sampling needs and what goes in behind it, and Symmetric Sampling's offerings by visiting symmetricsampling.com. And I invite you to see for yourself by going there about things such as their panels and panel management, answers they have to SMR's 28 questions about sampling, white papers, and there is much, much more. Marketing CEO Deb Gabor told us recently about her agency's use of the term discovery in place of research for the intensive research that she does in her project work. And we asked Deb to explain how she positions client research in a way that captures the client's attention, but also ingratiates marketing with the client. And it is, she pointed out, in stark contrast with the relationship that many full-service research agencies, even those with partnership status, tend to have. They're relegated, it seems more often than not, to something less than the optimal situation. Leaders of high-growth organizations, and that being your target, I'm curious, how often when you sit down with people like that and you've already successfully sold them to use your services, how often is it that what they think is their problem or problems, that there's actually it's something quite different?
Oh gosh, I would say 99 and 44, 100% of the time, they're wrong. Absolutely. They often think that they have a problem, and then, it's the old adage of if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So
are they too close to the situation? Or is
Yeah, I think they're too close to the situation. They've already sort of formulated responses. They're making hypotheses about what the problem is and why it is. And sometimes they want to use research to either validate or invalidate a point. That's definitely not my approach.
How do you get them to understand that what they think is the problem is really not necessarily the problem?
So we actually start with the problem, and we start kind of asking questions around the problem just to kind of, I hate to use this word, but unpack it and really understand what are all the various nuances and what's at stake and who's involved, and maybe sort of probe into some of the hypotheses. We're really looking for what are maybe the institutionally held myths in the organization that we're going to be up against, and what are the sacred cows and things like that. And so we're kind of, like I said, we're unpacking or unfolding the problem. And then we position discovery as just a step in our process, that it's the first step in the process, which is, really getting to the root of what the problem is and who has the problem, who owns the problem, and where, the origins of the problem and the gravity of it and the impact of it. And we use discovery to do that. And of course, we just use traditional research techniques, traditional and, some new and modern research techniques to get us there. But when we position that as discovery, that it's just the first step in the process, and that the revelation of the research results is actually the climax of the project, and it's somewhere in the middle, it's not the resolution, then my clients they're eating out of my hand. I would love to, in the ideal client scenario where they have the stomach and the budget and the resources to deal with this, I love to, let's start with a qualitative wave of research where we really, 360 degrees, internal, external, understand what are the perceptions, what are the myths, what are some of the widely held beliefs, some of the why that informs the development of probably a quantitative study. Maybe there's a segmentation solution. Maybe it's a solution where we're trying to, really figure out what are the product features or the features of an array of things that's going to drive preference, et cetera, et cetera. So we might apply segmentation or conjoint or something like that. And then another wave of qualitative research, which could be anything from focus groups to informal small group discussions to IDIs to discussion board research to ethnography to online video diaries, whatever. I mean, a million different methodologies out there. And then, a couple of waves of testing of strategies and creative and all that kind of stuff. Most companies don't have the stomach and the resources and the time to do that. Our goal is to come up with what is really the minimally viable amount of research that we need to do at this stage. So what's appropriate for the company at this stage to inform the next phase of decision making? Part of the reason why I'm in the C-suite and the market research firms are not right now is that I'm building alignment along the way with the team and having the internal team own the outcomes and own the decisions. And then at the end of the day, no one can say, oh, by the way, the research was wrong.
That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored this week and today by Symmetric Sampling, a division of Decision Analysts that provides sampling services to companies who place a high value on representative samples, scientific sampling methods, and advanced fraud detection systems. Again, check things out at symmetricsampling.com. We hope you have a great research day, and we hope that you'll join us back here tomorrow.